Welcome to the USI Career Excellence Series. My name is Megan O'Connor, and I'm a career coordinator here in the USI Career Success Center. This is part one, and we're so glad that you're here. This series is designed to walk you through every stage of your career journey, from building your professional documents all the way through negotiating your offers for promotions internally or externally. Each module builds on the last, so we're in the right place to start. Today, we're going to be kicking things off with the CV, what it is, how it differs from a resume, and when to use it. I'm excited to share this content because for many of you, this document will be more important to your career than a resume ever may be. Other sessions will focus on resumes for industry positions. This module addresses the essential document for those pursuing academic, research, medical, or scientific careers. If you're planning to become a professor, researcher, clinical faculty member, or work in any scholarly capacity, your CV is your professional lifeline. Here's what makes a CV fundamentally different from a resume. A resume is a snapshot, a carefully curated highlight reel tailored to a specific job. A CV is your complete scholarly biography. It's a living document that grows with you throughout your entire academic career. The CV you start today as a graduate student will follow you through postdoctoral positions, assistant professorships, tenure review, and beyond. Think of it this way. Your resume says, here's why I'm right for this job. Your CV says, here's who I am as a scholar. By the end of this module, you'll understand exactly how to build a CV that represents your academic identity using best practices from Harvard, Princeton, Columbia, Yale, and Cornell. But remember, when applying to graduate programs, please make sure you follow the parameters that they specify. A little research can save you some work. Now, let's get started. Here's a brief roadmap to our Excellence Graduate Student Career Webinar Series. We're going to be starting here, Phase 1, with establishing your professional brand and your core document creation. As we continue through the journey, we'll be covering several other key components of your career development strategy, ending in a 9-part webinar series. Let's get started. Before we start building your CV, let's make sure we understand exactly how it differs from a resume, because I've seen too many graduate students make the mistake of treating these documents interchangeably. The terms themselves tell the story. CV is Latin for course of life. It's meant to be comprehensive, documenting your entire scholarly journey. Resume comes from the French meaning to summarize. It's intentionally brief and targeted. But here's the most practical distinction. Length matters differently. With a resume, we talked about the 1-page rule for early career professionals, potentially 2 pages for experienced professionals. But with a CV, there's no page limit. As a graduate student, your CV will likely be 2 to 5 pages. A mid-career professor might have 15 to 20 pages. I've seen senior faculty with CVs exceeding 50 pages, and that's appropriate because they're documenting decades of publications, presentations, grants, and service. Never artificially shorten your CV. If you've done the work, it belongs on your CV. The purpose is also different. According to Princeton's Center for Career Development, a CV outlines your scholarly achievements and is used for academic positions, research roles, fellowship applications, and grant proposals. Resumes are for industry and corporate positions. Here's what this means practically. If you're pursuing both academic and industry careers, which many of you are, you need both documents. Your CV for faculty positions and postdocs, your resume for corporate roles. They are not interchangeable. As Harvard's Career Success Center states, your CV represents your accomplishments and experience as an academic and helps to establish your professional image. This is your scholarly identity on paper. Treat it with the seriousness and accuracy it deserves. Now, Let's start building your CV section by section using the framework recommended by Harvard, Princeton, Columbia, and Yale. I'm going to walk you through each section and tell you exactly what to include. Contact information comes first. Your name prominently displayed, followed by your institutional address, phone, professional email, and if you have them, your professional website or LinkedIn URL. Use your university email, not a personal account like drfutureprofessor@gmail.com. This looks less professional than your .edu address. Education is next, and this is where you differ from undergraduates. List your degrees in reverse chronological order. Your current graduate program first, then previous degrees. For each degree, include the institution, expected or actual graduation date, your dissertation or thesis title, and your advisor's name. The advisor matters in academia. It signals your scholarly lineage. Research experience is often the heart of a graduate student's CV. For each position, include your title, the institution, dates, your principal investigator or supervisor, and a brief description of the project. Use action verbs like designed mixed methods study examining or analyze longitudinal data from. Publications require careful attention. Use the citation format standard in your discipline, APA for social sciences, MLA for humanities, AMA for medical fields. You can organize this section into subcategories: peer-reviewed articles, book chapters, reports, and manuscripts under review or in preparation. A word of caution: limit in preparation entries. Search committees are skeptical of long lists of work that isn't submitted yet. Presentations document your scholarly communication. Include conference papers, poster presentations, and invited talks. For each, list the title, conference name, location, and date. Distinguish between peer-reviewed conference presentations and invited lectures. The latter carry more weight. Teaching experience is essential, especially for faculty positions. List each course with its name and number, the institution, your role, like teaching assistant, instructor of record, or guest lecturer, and the dates. If you've developed curriculum or received teaching awards, highlight those. Awards and honors showcase your recognition of your work. Fellowships, grants, scholarships, and academic prizes. Include the award name, granting organization, and year. Even internal departmental awards belong here. Service and leadership demonstrates your citizenship in the academic community. Departmental committees, journal manuscript reviewing, professional organization involvement, or mentoring. Search committees want colleagues, not just researchers. Professional memberships list your scholarly associations, like SHRM, APA, NASW, whatever organizations are relevant to your field. And finally, references. 3 to 5 academic references with complete contact information. Always ask permission before listing someone and give them a heads up when you're applying for positions. Here's the key insight from Columbia's GSAS Career Design Lab. The organization of your CV should present information that best highlights your strengths in relation to the position you're seeking. These sections aren't set in stone. If you're applying for a teaching-focused position, move teaching experience higher. If it's a research institution, lead with publications and research experience. Formatting might seem like a minor concern, but in academia, your CV formatting signals your attention to detail, and search committees notice. A sloppy CV suggests sloppy scholarship. Let me share Princeton's specific guidelines. Fonts and margins. It's recommended you use 11 or 12-point font, nothing smaller, nothing fancy. Times New Roman, Calibri, or Garamond are all appropriate. 1-inch margins on all sides give your document breathing room. Consistency is paramount. This is where I see the most mistakes. If your first section heading is bold, uppercase, and underlined, every section heading must be bold, uppercase, and underlined. If you use month-year format for one date, use it for all dates. If you indent bullet points half an inch in one section, indent them half an inch everywhere. Inconsistency signals carelessness. Strategic organization matters. Arrange your sections in decreasing order of importance for the specific position you're applying to. A research-intensive R1 university wants to see publications near the top. A teaching-focused liberal arts college wants teaching experience front and center. This isn't about being deceptive. It's about making it easy for search committees to find what they're looking for. Reverse chronological order within each section, most recent first. This applies to education, experience, publications, presentations, everything. And white space is your friend. Don't cram everything together to save pages. Use spacing between sections, clear margins, and breathing room. A CV that's easy to read is easy to scan. Action verbs also need to lead every description, not responsible for conducting research, but designed and implemented mixed methods studies, not helped with teaching, but facilitated weekly discussion sections for 45 undergraduate students. Proofread this obsessively, then proofread again, then have someone else proofread. A typo in your publication list suggests you're careless with details, not a quality search committees want in a colleague. And critically, this is important for international students especially. U.S. academic CVs do not include personal information. No photo, no date of birth, no marital status, no social security number, no gender, race, or religion. Including these signals unfamiliarity with American academic norms and can actually create legal complications for hiring committees. Now, let's learn from an example from Harvard. Sabine Rose's CV from Harvard Center for Career Success is an excellent model for humanities and arts graduate students. Notice how she opens with clear contact information, including her pronouns, and immediately establishes her academic home. Her education section is thorough. She lists not just degrees, but dissertation and thesis titles, committee members and advisors, and even her study abroad experience in Paris, which signals international research capacity. Right after education, she includes a research expertise section, a smart, concise list of keywords that instantly communicates her scholarly identity to a search committee or fellowship reviewer. This is especially effective when applying for postdocs or specialized positions. What really sets Sabine's CV apart is her strategic use of descriptive category headings tailored to her field. Rather than lumping everything under experience, she creates distinct sections for museums and cultural heritage, publishing experience, and digital humanities, each showcasing a different dimension of her professional profile. Her publications section transparently shows work at various stages: in preparation, under review, in press, which is standard practice and signals an active research pipeline. She also includes a conference organization section. Co-organizing an international conference is a significant leadership accomplishment that deserves its own line. Finally, her references section includes full contact information for each recommender, formatted professionally with titles, institutions, and international details, all relevant to her role that she's applying for. The takeaway? Your CV should tell a coherent story about who you are as a scholar, and the categories you choose shape how readers perceive you. Now let's talk about the academic cover letter, your CV's narrative partner. Your CV shows what you've done. Your cover letter explains why it matters and why you're the right fit for this specific role. Academic cover letters follow a predictable structure, and that's a feature, not a bug. Search committees read hundreds of applications, so a clear format lets them focus on your ideas. The standard flow is an opening: who you are, the position, expected degree date, and advisor. Next, your current research, your dissertation. Then, your future research, where your work is headed, followed by teaching, experience philosophy, courses you could offer, and finally a closing, your fit, and a thank you. Letters for research universities lean on scholarship. Letters for liberal arts colleges emphasize teaching. Either way, your goal is to make a coherent case for why you applied and why they should hire you. Let's take a look at this example from Harvard. In Vidita's cover letter for an assistant professor of musicology, she's a strong competitor. Her opening efficiently establishes her status, names her advisor, and frames her research in one compelling sentence. No generic enthusiasm, just intellectual substance. Her research section explains her dissertation's argument while showcasing interdisciplinary methods. Then she connects her future research directly to the University of Washington's archival holdings, a very smart tailoring that shows she's done her homework. Her teaching section avoids vague claims by offering concrete examples, comparing the singability of two songs, conducting Beethoven from a recording, creating play-by-play podcasts in the style of sports commentary. These specifics bring her philosophy to life. Her closing addresses service and community engagement, linking her values to the institution's mission. Throughout, she's confident but not arrogant, detailed but not exhaustive, and clearly writing for this position, not sending a template. That's the goal. Now let's talk about how CV expectations vary by field, because a nursing CV looks different from a social work CV, which looks different from an education CV. For healthcare students, your CV should prominently feature clinical experience, certifications and licensure, continuing education credits, and quality improvement projects. If you've participated in evidence-based practice initiatives, include those. Clinical faculty positions want to see that you can bridge scholarship and practice. For social work students, field placements are crucial. Document them thoroughly, including clinical hours accumulated, specialized populations you've served, and evidence-based interventions you've used. Community engagement and advocacy work also belong on a social work CV in ways they might not for other disciplines. For education students, teaching experience takes center stage, but go beyond just listing courses. Include your teaching philosophy development, curriculum you've designed, assessments you've created, and any student outcome data you can ethically share. If you've supervised student teachers or mentored new instructors, that's valuable. For public administration and criminal justice students, policy analysis, program evaluation, and grant management experience are gold. Public service experience, even if it's not traditionally academic, demonstrates your commitment to the field. Include any legislative testimony, policy briefs, or government reports you've contributed to. For business administration students, here's where it gets nuanced. Most business and healthcare administration positions, you'll use a resume, not a CV. The CV format is reserved for research-focused faculty positions or academic healthcare administration roles. If you're pursuing a clinical or practitioner track, stick with a polished resume. The key principle from Yale's Office of Career Strategy is always adapt your CV to align with the specific position requirements. Read the job posting carefully. What do they emphasize? What's listed first in their requirements? Let that guide you on how to organize your CV. Now, let's touch on how to use AI ethically for your CD development and refinement with some critical guardrails. The core principle is this: use AI to refine and strengthen. Never let AI write your CV content from scratch. Your CV represents your scholarly identity. AI doesn't know your research. AI didn't teach your classes. AI didn't present at that conference. You did. Here are 3 specific ways AI can help. First, strengthening action verbs. You can paste a CV description and ask, review this CV description and suggest stronger action verbs appropriate for academic positions. Maybe you wrote, did data analysis. AI might suggest conducted multivariate regression analysis, or performed thematic coding or qualitative interviews. It's taking your experience and helping you articulate it more powerfully. Second, position alignment. When you're tailoring your CV for a specific job, you can paste both your CV sections and the job description and then ask, compare my CV sections to this faculty position description. What experiences should I emphasize or reorganize? AI can help you see connections you might have missed. Your grant writing experience aligns with their emphasis on securing external funding. Third, clarity checks. Academic writing can become jargon heavy. Ask AI, review this research description for clarity. Would a faculty search committee outside my specific subfield understand the significance of this work? This helps you communicate across disciplinary boundaries. But here's the critical warning, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Do not let AI generate publication citations. If AI hallucinates a publication that doesn't exist and a search committee can't find it, your candidacy is over. Your reputation can be destroyed. Academic fraud is absolutely career-ending. Do not let AI fabricate research descriptions. Your CV must accurately represent work you actually did, and do not let AI create teaching experience that you don't have. In academia, integrity is everything. A single fabrication discovered during a search process, or worse, after you're hired, can result in terminated job offers, revoked degrees, and permanent damage to your professional reputation. The consequences are severe and lasting. Use AI as a polishing tool, not as a ghostwriter. Your CV must be authentically, verifiably, and completely yours. Now, let's touch on some common CV mistakes to avoid. These are the ones that I've seen the most often, and these are the errors that make search committee members sigh and move on to the next candidate. Mistake 1, using resume format for a CV. I see this frequently. Students submit a one-page document for a faculty position because they think brevity is a virtue. It's not for CVs. If you artificially limit your length or omit relevant academic experiences to fit some imaginary page limit, you're underselling yourself. CVs are comprehensive, period. Mistake 2, inconsistent formatting. I mentioned this earlier, but it bears repeating. If your dates are formatted May 2024 in one section and 5/24 in another, that signals carelessness. If some headings are bold and others aren't, that signals carelessness too. Search committees are looking for colleagues who pay attention to detail. Prove that you're that person. Mistake number 3, incorrect citation format. If you're in psychology and you cite your publications in MLA format instead of APA, you're signaling that you don't know the conventions of your own field. That's a red flag. Use the citation style standard in your discipline and format every publication consistently. Mistake 4, too many in preparation items. Here's the truth. Search committees are skeptical of long lists of manuscripts in preparation. 1 or 2, that's fine. It shows you have a research pipeline. 5 or 6, it looks like you're padding. Focus on work that's published for at least under review. In preparation should be reserved for manuscripts that are genuinely close to submission. Mistake number 5, missing page numbers. CVs get printed out for committee review. Pages get separated. If your name and page number aren't on every page, your publication list might end up in someone else's file, or even worse, the trash. Header or footer for every page, your name, page X. Mistake 6, not tailoring to position. Submitting the exact same CV to a teaching-focused liberal arts college and a research-intensive R1 university is a mistake. Reorganize your sections. The teaching position should see your teaching experience near the top. The research position should see your publications front and center. Same content, strategic presentation. Mistake 7, outdated contact information. Before every single submission, verify that your email works, your phone number is correct, and your references information is current. I've seen candidates miss interviews because their phone number had changed and they forgot to update their CV. These mistakes are all avoidable with careful attention. Don't let preventable errors cost you opportunities. Now, let's wrap up with your action plan and resources because I want you to leave this session ready to build your CV this week. Your campus resource is the USI Career Success Center. We're located at Orr Center Room 1051. You can call us and schedule a CV review appointment through Career Launch. We do in-person and virtual appointments. We review CVs all the time, so bring us your draft and we'll help you refine it. We also have some Ivy League resources that are available online for free. I've listed the CV guides from Harvard, Princeton, Columbia, Yale, and Cornell on this slide. These are the same resources their graduate students use. Bookmark them, reference them. They include sample CVs from different disciplines that you can use as models. Here's your 7-day CV development action plan. On days 1 and 2, take inventory. Before you write anything, make a comprehensive list of everything you've done academically. Every research project, every course you've TA'd, every conference presentation, every publication, even if it's just a newsletter article, every award, every committee, get it all down in one place. This is your raw material. For day 3, study the examples. Find 3 to 5 CVs from people in your discipline. Look at faculty websites in your field. Most professors post their CVs publicly. Look at the sample CVs in the Ivy League guides. Notice how they're organized. Notice what sections they include. Notice how they describe research and teaching. On days 4 and 5, craft your CV. Using the framework we discussed today, build your CV. Don't worry about perfection on the first draft. Just get the content down. You can refine formatting later. On day 6, get feedback. Share your draft with your faculty advisor, your thesis committee chair, or a mentor in your field. They know what search committees in your discipline look for, and their feedback is invaluable. On day 7, schedule a Career Success Center appointment. Bring your revised draft to us. We'll give you another set of eyes and help you polish it for a submission. Here's your key takeaway. Your CV is a living document. It represents your scholarly identity and it will grow with you throughout your entire academic career. The CV you start today will be updated dozens, maybe hundreds of times over the coming years. Every publication, every presentation, every course you teach, every committee you serve on, it all goes on your CV. So start building it now. Update it every time you achieve something new. Keep a running document where you add accomplishments as they happen so you never forget anything. Thank you for joining us for part 1 of the Career Excellence series for graduate studies. Now that you have a strong foundation in crafting your CV, join us next time for part 2, where we'll explore how to build a powerful ATS-optimized professional resume and cover letter. Hope to see you there. If you have any questions, please schedule a one-on-one appointment with a career coordinator in the USI Career Success Center. To book appointments, you can email us directly or schedule through Career Launch. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next session.